Hey, welcome back, man. It's me, CybertronAce, and we're kind of taking it back to the basics. We're entering the time machine and we're going back to early 2023, 23, 22. I don't really late 22, early 23. I'm doing reviews again, right? I'm going back to my roots. Now, today's review is a game that I'm really happy I went back into doing reviews and I found it. We're gonna be reviewing Gris. Now let's get into it. Now, Gris is a beautiful game that represents the 5 stages of grief, that being denial, anger, bargaining, sorrow, and acceptance. And you play through all of these stages, and all of the stages are also each given a color. Denial being gray, anger being red, bargaining being green, sorrow being blue, and acceptance being yellow. Now, the game, the way you play it is you go through all of these stages and you'll be collecting stars that you kind of add up onto a constellation. So you're just basically playing through the stages, therefore going through the stages of grief. You can unlock also mementos. You unlock mementos, which are pictures that you can unlock at the end of the game once you finish the game. So it's a nice little collectible for you to pick up. We gamers, we love collectibles. So yeah, let's get into it. One thing I do like about the game is the fact that I like the way you interact with like the living stuff in it. Like sometimes the flowers, which you get to interact with at the end, and birds and stuff like that. The game design and music. Overall, it's easy 2D game, a good game with some pretty good puzzles, right? They're not too confusing, complex that you won't understand them, but they're not too easy that when you complete them, it doesn't feel worthwhile or it doesn't feel like really bad. You think much about it. So I really do think it's a cool little game. The music so far, like by far, it's pretty good. I feel like each music type really matches the stage and what it represents in both someone going through grief and also the advancement of the game. This is the beginning of the game. This is a big point in the game. This is the end of the game, right? I think like the music selection really hits and really matches the environment and the atmosphere of what's going on in the game so far. Now, I do want to talk about each stage and how it was built and the music and everything separately because each stage is somewhat different. And we'll start off with the gray stage, Denial. Gray, a pretty neutral color and a pretty chill stage, The music wasn't really too crazy. It's chill music, it's mysterious, adventurous, really kind of gets you feeling like, oh, okay, this is kind of cool and it's pretty calm. It's not too high, it's not too mellow. I do like the coastal look of it. It's kind of like at a coast and like you have white given to the sand and we have a blue-gray, a black-gray given to the rocks around the area, which I really like a lot. And this is a pretty smooth stage, so I feel like they just used it to kind of get you used to the controls and how the game physics and stuff works like that. And it's all pretty chill. And then we get into anger. And just like a heart clouded with anger, you get angry outbursts. We're dropped into, from what I suspect, a red desert filled with sandstones that cloud your vision and essentially your ability to move forward. So it's very good in the way it symbolizes everything that kind of happens in how I would expect someone going through grief to kind of interact. So I think that's a really cool thing they did with every stage and stuff like that. I really like the architecture of the place. The main thing is the structure. So there are like pole things that are like fans which rotate when the sandstorm is coming, and I like the way they're designed. You can even go up to something that is like a big rotating fan or clock tower. I really don't know how to describe it, but I really like the way it's built. Like it looks man-made, but not too human. It's like you're on Mars, kind of. So it's like, okay, it's definitely some sort of species, but it's not really human. And I really like that. Now in the game, the music isn't too crazy, right? Even though it's anger, but I do like whenever sandstorm is coming and anger outburst, I would guess it kind of gets it differentiates, and it gets a bit more rough and fast-paced, right? Because it's very something angry. You know, it's a sandstorm coming through, like take cover. And I really like that. And in this stage, you unlock the ability to kind of turn into a blob. Maybe you're getting a bit stubborn because you're angry, who knows? Which I really like. And each stage, of course, as you go through, you unlock stuff. And one thing I really like that I didn't mention is the transition between stages. So when you go from great to anger, you bleed color into the world through what I would guess is like cry, right? So what they just did was the white sand gets stained in red, and as you progress forward, you get more and more rock stone structures that kind of seamlessly transitions into a desert, which I pretty much like. And just like that, well, with the transition from anger to bargain, green is, anger is red, if I did not say. In bargain, you go up a structure and tree vines start to grow as you bleed green into the world. Tree vines grow and you fall into a forest. So it's not so seamless, but it's not like a straight cutaway into another thing, like a freaking Mario jump down a pipe. Welcome to Bargain Forest, right? It's something at least. And the forest look is pretty good. I really do like it. And you know, green, nature comes to mind, so that's a pretty good look. You unlock the ability to sort of double jump and glide float. So it allows you to jump further, longer distances. And every ability that you unlock here in the game, you will use it in that stage and stages to follow, which is a pretty neat thing I like about that. Now the music, because it's a forest, it reminded me of Minecraft. So the best way I can explain it feels kind of like C418, but it's really good. That's really what I'm saying. So it's really good. It fits well with the stage, with the green and stuff like that. And I feel like this is the first stage where you kind of like make a friend and an enemy, which when you bargain, it's a taking a loss, right? So I don't know, maybe I'm just reading too much into it, but that's some pretty good stuff. And I'll talk about those friend and enemies, you know, friend and foe later on when I talk about the characters in the game. So that's pretty cool, but you kind of find, do you find a hole? I don't even remember how. I think it's a cave, and you start exploring underwater caves. And I feel like this is where Sorrow really takes its true form, right? Sorrow's Reef. These aren't names, I'm just making them up. Bargain Forest is not the name of the forest, I just called it that. Sorrow's Reef is not the name, I just chose to call that. And this place, I really like the way they did the colors and the way they arranged them, because since you're in underwater caves, the rock stuff, it's 2D, right? So everything that would indicate or like represent the rock is black. So the blue and yellow, red, whatever other colors are underwater are really allowed to shine because of the black, right? Like the green and purple is really allowed to shine because of the black. If it was white, I don't know if it would work the same. So the color scheme and the way they work the colors is really good, and I like that. And of course, this is my favorite stage by far. I might be a bit biased because blue is my favorite color, and this stage has a great kind of. It was the longest stage, and I think this stage has like a great kind of boss fight interaction of all, and it was the longest, if I didn't say. And the boss interaction really creates a great transition from sorrow to acceptance. Because when you're getting chased and you're trying to run away, you would run away to kind of like a crystal place, which is where the acceptance stage is. So that's a really great way of like using the game story and the characters or antagonists, whatever, to take you to the next part of the game without it feeling like it was forced or anything like that. Like you didn't just travel to it or anything. So I really like that. Now, yellow with acceptance is, you know, a castle palace thing that has light yellow like bulbs and yellow birds and yellow bugs or sprites. And the thing I like about this stage is the fact that the way you work it, well, all stages are different, but this one is very different because the way it works is you unlock, in the blue stage you unlock the ability to swim, might I add, right? Your character was black at first, she did not know how to swim, she fell in water, she had to turn white and now she could swim. But in the yellow stage, the yellow stuff, you can go up to it and it lights the way to stuff that you couldn't normally see, which is something different where instead of like just platforming and stuff like that, you use like the colors just all around you. The thing with the color is what you have to go to be able to advance, which I really love. And in this stage you unlock the ability to sing. And now, I'm not gonna lie, her singing is beautiful. It's freaking great, and you use the singing to kind of breathe life into certain flowers and stuff that you find. But the singing does get kind of repetitive because it's the same thing, kind of looped. It's short. That's why I feel like it gets repetitive easily, because you can hear it over and over so many times that you're kind of like, okay, we're good, guy, we're good. But I really like the way that they played it differently. Now I would like to talk about the characters. The first character I'd like to talk about is Bimo from Bargain Forest. Now, our little block-headed friend here, I don't freaking know, but he is pretty cool. Now, the reason why I would consider them a separate being, you know, to consider them their own character, is because it feels as if it's something that's following you out of its own choice, right? It doesn't feel like something that is supposed to follow you. So it's like, it feels like a kid following you rather than something that was programmed, like a freaking escort mission where it tells you to not get like too far away from a character. Like it feels like it's just a kid following me around where I'm going, rather than me moving and this guy follows me in like such a bot way and gets stuck in the fucking road because of a car and I'm getting too far, right? Anyway, let's go back. So I really like that about him, the kind of sort of independence about her, and I really like that a lot. And she kind of introduced me to her family. Now, not in that way, because the character looks underage, but I really think that's cool where you kind of see this underground place where there are other things like her, them, they, whatever, and you kind of like, it's kind of like it opens you up to like the fact that I might not be the only one here, which is kind of cool, right? So I really like that a lot. And the second character who I would like to talk about is kind of like the antagonist of the game, who I theorize to be symbolizing depression. Because it's a dark entity that every step of the way, as you're trying to go through this period of grief, pushes you back, tries to prevent you from advancing forward. I really think that's a cool thing they did, and it makes sense for it to be an antagonist for the type of game it is about, since you're going through this period of grief. Now overall, all in all, it's an extravagant, short little game. It's like an hour a stage, and it's 5 stages, so that's around like 5 hours. Easy to play, less than 10 gigabytes, doesn't take up that much space. I played it on Game Pass, so it's free on Game Pass, right? If you have Game Pass, everything's free there. I don't know what happened. I don't know how it is on other systems, but I fully recommend everyone to play it wherever you can. You won't regret it. It's a great game. It's a beautiful game. And that all said, to give it, I really want to give it a 12 out of 12. But the game description says follow a story along, right? And the thing about that is, I only know everything that it's a story about depression because I did do some like Googling while I was playing the game. If I had never done that, I would never have found out what the game was about, and I couldn't have enjoyed it as much as I did. So I just think, like, without a good description, or maybe me not having a creative mind to see the vision here, I just couldn't see it. But because of that, I will have to deduct points, and sadly, will have to give it an 11.5 out of 12. So basically a 12 out of 12, but not really. Yeah, I 100% recommend everyone going to play the game. So get off this video if you're done. You can continue watching if you want to. There's post-credit scenes. But if you're getting off, get off YouTube and go download the game. Right now. I'll wait. We'll wait.
A few moments later.
Now, the announcement that I have to make. I am standing up. It doesn't have to do with anything. I just chose to stand up so I could be a bit more animated. I've stopped posting the playthrough gameplay stuff for a minute, not by my choice. A lot of things happened, and the way things are, my setup is not like how it was. There are some things that I don't have, but I'm still able to play games somewhat. So I probably will just be pumping out reviews right now, since that's mostly what I'll be doing. But I will try to make them high quality, very well scripted and edited, because I do love making reviews. I will see if I'll be able to do the gameplays again, because I do also like making gameplays, and I don't want to leave you guys hanging. But yeah, so gameplays for now are gonna be on hold. You might be seeing more reviews, and my plan is to be doing at least one review every month, and it doesn't even have to be anything like specific. It doesn't have to be indie games only like this, and it doesn't have to be like AAA titles only. So I want it to be like a mix. It could be like a short game, it could be a long game, it could be a cool indie game, it could be like a new upcoming AAA title, or it could even be like an old game, right? I could hop on here and give GTA Vice City a whirl before GTA 6 comes out, right? So I will just be anything that catches my eye and I think is really great. But I'll probably do it as like any game that I played, which I think is like the most interesting or best game that I've played, or it's a new game that came out that month, I'll give it a review. Now, monthly reviews, I don't know if I want to do them at every end of the month, because if a new game comes out at the beginning and I want it to be a monthly review, I drop it at the end, it won't make sense. But then again, if I'm just going to be dropping reviews mid-month as well, how will that make sense? But yeah, that's what's gonna be happening. Sorry to those of you who really like the gameplay stuff, but tell me your thoughts in the comment. Give me suggestions of stuff that you want me to review, since I will probably be doing that a lot. And that's all I have to say for now. It's been me. Go play Gris. You know, you're not slick. And I'll see you guys later. Peace out.